So who are the top lenders for SBA franchise startup? It's really going to depend. I mean, there's definitely a couple key players that I work with that are good. And each lender is good for a certain use case. Like one lender I work with, for example, they're the best for small franchise startups that don't involve tenant improvements. They don't like to fund the tenant improvements, but they're the best when it comes to, I'm buying a handyman service and I need financing for franchise fee, working capital, and all the startup costs. They're top notch for that. They'll do the highest leverage too. They'll go up to 90% of total project costs, even on a franchise startup, which is really good, but they would not be the best if the business model required a lot of tenant improvements for a retail space or an office space. They're not the best for that. So there's different banks and credit unions and non-bank SBA lenders I work with when a candidate comes to me and they're looking for financing, because I have to figure out where to help them navigate to which bank's going to be the best fit based on what they're trying to do. So tenant improvement's a big one that I look for. I'm also looking for, are they really low in liquidity? So their post-close liquidity is low. A lot of banks want to see 10% post-close liquidity in reserves. And if you don't have it, I do have banks that say, hey, we're building in working capital, so we're not going to be so stringent on the post-close liquidity. So there's really about 5 lenders I work with for small SBA franchise startup loans. And it's going to depend on the overall scenario. It's also going to depend if the franchise was previously on the SBA franchise directory. That's the other big thing, to see if they were listed on the directory. It makes it a lot easier. Now, I have banks that I can take the franchise disclosure document and send it to them, and they'll pre-screen it. And usually they're going to limit the amount of deals they'll do with that franchise, but a lot of times I get them to approve it, and they'll say, okay, well, on this franchise, we're going to limit this year to 4 transactions, and the max loan for this brand would be $175,000. And so we're able to do things like that, because some banks will not touch the franchise startup if it's not on the SBA franchise directory, or it wasn't in the past. Now, they discontinued the directory, but there's talks that they're bringing it back, and I believe they will, because basically what the directory is, it's a list of franchises that have been approved. It doesn't mean the SBA has said, hey, it's a good franchise. It's just been approved to be a eligible franchise for lending purposes. They discontinued it a few months back. Maybe it was a year ago. I can't remember. But the banks still use that as a resource. So that will be coming back. So the top SBA franchise lenders, it's going to vary. I've got about 5 that I work with. What I do is I help you navigate the waters and find the ideal bank to bring the deal to that's going to give you the best solution that you're looking for. So if you need some advice on financing a franchise, or if you need some advice on finding a franchise, that's what our companies do. We help you find them, and we help you fund them. We host a bunch of franchise events and SBA events. You can go to beaueckstein.com/events, and feel free to come to any of our events. They're usually on Zoom. Some days we do long workshops. Some days they're just an hour workshop. But if you want to dip your toes in the water and learn about SBA financing, franchise startups, franchise resales, and how to finance business acquisitions that may not be a franchise business model, we can help you in all these categories and more. So anyways, you can also book a call with me at bookwithbeau.com, and I'll see you on the next episode. If you're looking to acquire a business, stop scrolling on Biz Buy Sell and visit franchiseresellelistings.com. We'll do a customized search. You can get on our weekly distribution where we're sending new inventory weekly to your inbox. So visit franchiseresellelistings.com and opt in today. See you there. Hey guys, Beau Eckstein here. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe to this channel. We talk all things financing. I've been in the lending industry for over 20 years, and I'm happy to answer your questions and provide great content.